Yes, once more you are super welcome. I remain Reverend Dr. Tommy Joseph, your regular host on this channel. At this hour, I'm going to share something I feel we all need and it's necessary for us to be in dominion, for us to be in control according to God's purpose for us. And that thing that I need to share with you is something about knowing and knowing about. Every Christian, every believer thinks he knows God, but there is something I want us to understand. It's one thing to know God, and it's another to know about Him. Or, in the reverse, it's one thing to know about God, and it's another to know God. Now, in the church, everybody thinks, oh no, I know God, I'm a Christian, I go to church, I attend programs, I do that. Yes, you are a Christian, there's no doubt about that. But this simple question, do you know God? It's a big question you need to answer. And I want to tell you that many go to church, many are born again, but they don't know God. They know about Him. Virtually everybody knows about God. Whether you are a Christian or not a Christian, whether you are an idol worshiper, but there is a knowing about a being called God. That's what everybody has. Everybody knows about God, but only few know God. What's the difference about knowing God and knowing about God? Take for instance, somebody may tell you about me. Oh, there's one Reverend Dr. Tommy Joseph that teaches on YouTube channel, blah 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 blah. But no matter how much they tell you what I do, no matter how much they describe me, no matter what is said about my messages on YouTube, when you meet me on the road, you will pass me by. You know about me, but you don't know me. They may tell you about the things I do. They may even tell you about my character. But until you come my way and experience me, you know about me, you don't know me. The day you see me once, then you can't miss out on me again. But until you experience me, my person, my personality, my character, my abilities, my inabilities, my shortcomings, my strength, until you experience me one on one, you don't know me. And in that same manner, we know about God. Why? Because we read about in the Bible. We go to church, teach about Him. I'm teaching about Him on YouTube channel. You watch Him on the telly. You attend programs. Everywhere people talk about Him, you read about Him, you know about Him. But how many know Him one on one? And until you know God one on one, there are too many things you are going to struggle with. Until you know Him one on one, too many things cannot be clear, they can't be real. You cannot just stand and lay hold on them and believe them and put them into practice. No, it doesn't happen that way. So, in this teaching today, what I want to show you is the difference between knowing about God and knowing God. Many of you watching me online, I know that virtually everyone watching me knows about God. But I may doubt if everybody listening to me at this hour knows God. So my main purpose in this broadcast is to get you to a place where you will know God. Because when you don't know God, then it becomes difficult for you to appropriate what He has put in place for you. Until you know God, it will be difficult for you to exercise dominion, for you to fulfill the destiny, the purpose for which He has created you. You will not be able to put into place whatsoever He has achieved for you and I. So you may say, okay, so how do I know God? Let's go to the Bible. Let me show you something. Revelation chapter 1 and verse number 1. It's a verse maybe many have read or almost everybody have read at one time or the other. But there's something inside I want to bring out. Now it says, chapter 1 and verse number 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave Him to show His servants. Simple scriptures. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants. Even Jesus was revealed to himself. He didn't know who he was. In this series of teachings on dominion from Genesis 1:26, I'm trying to reveal you to you. I'm trying to reveal you to you. This same thing was done to Jesus. Why? Because God had to reveal him to him so that he can show his servant who he is. So God needed him to know him. He was God's express image, but he needed that revelation. You need a revelation of you to be able to know who God is. But that's my purpose in this teaching. It goes beyond knowing about, it goes to knowing God. For Jesus to know God, he was God, he was revealed to him. Then again, there's another scenario in the Bible, a story we all know by heart. Hannah, the mother to the prophet Samuel. This woman comes to Shiloh every now and then because she didn't have a child until she had one. And when she had one, she felt, no, God, this child you gave me, I give him back to you. Let him serve you all his life. And in the course of the service, something happened. 1 Samuel chapter 3. It's a story we all know by heart. In the course of his service, something happened. One night, he was lying down. Eli was there in his late ages. His eyes were dim. He was no longer forthcoming like before. And here is the boy Samuel sleeping. And a voice called him. And the only voice that he know was calling him was Eli. So he rushed to Eli. Oh, yeah, ma, you called me. Eli said, no, I did not. Go back. So he went back and slept. And he was called again. And he put it back to Eli. And the same thing. Eli said, no, I didn't call you. It happened the third time. He was called again. And now he went to Eli. Eli said, no, I didn't call you. But now the old man is coming to himself. He begins to say that, no, this boy has had this voice 3 times. Maybe the Lord is speaking to him. Out of experience, he said, now go back and lie down. When the voice comes and calls you again, don't come to me, but just answer to the voice that called you. Say, Lord, speak, because your servant is all ears. Your servant heareth. And true to it, as he went back to sleep, the Lord came back and the Lord called. And he said, as Eliab taught him to, Lord, speak, because your servant is all ears, he's hearing. And the Lord took time to explain to Samuel what he has in mind. The boy listened, had everything, and he went to bed. But there's something I want you to understand here. He spoke, God spoke to him, he heard, told him everything. But yet, you will see something later, that in all these happenings, it didn't come him to know God. No, he was only happened to know about him because now, oh yes, God can speak. Now by daybreak, Samuel knew that something happened. No, Eli knew that something happened and he came to Samuel. Samuel says, what the Lord said to you? The boy was afraid because it was not good news. But he was put under pressure and he had to talk, and he told him everything. And what did Samuel say? He resigned to faith. If that's what suits God, let him do it. And he was okay. Now, if we come to Samuel chapter 34, Samuel, and verse number 21, you will see the point I am trying to make. And let me read. And the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. Now they have had the encounter in the temple. He has called many times. He has even told him what will befall Eli in the days to come. But that didn't reveal God to him. Now in Shiloh, God appeared again. And now it was in Shiloh that the Lord revealed himself to Samuel. Now it's in Shiloh that God allowed Samuel or made Samuel now to know him. Samuel knew about him. Eli told him. Dreams, visions tells you about God. Oh, there was a visitation. Yes, but now one on one, God now revealed himself to him in Shiloh. Until you come to God one on one, face to face, there are too many experiences about Christianity that will remain vague. Like I said in the other video, Christianity is not theory, it is practical. Even knowing God, God's revelation is practical. It's not theory. It's not theory. No, it's something that you may have to experience that. You may have to experience it and see the physical side of it. It's not just the vague knowing. No. You know about God, but you need to know God, not just about Him. I've had both experiences. Maybe in the next video, I will share with practical examples, personal experience, the difference between knowing God and knowing about God. I know I'm gifted in seeing, especially when it comes to dreams, visions. I'm good. 4 o'clock in the morning is my visitation time. But that wasn't enough to make me know God. No. Until the day I know Him in a different way other than just dreams. Until the day I know Him in another way other than dreams. A day came in my life when I knew Him one on one. One on one, day brought. And that day I saw something different. I saw something different. That day, for once in my lifetime, I came to understand that the world in which we live is not real. The realm in which God lives is real. That day I knew Him. But on this subject, maybe I will have to make another video to share that story before we continue on our Dominion series. But why I shared this story is simple. Until you know God one on one, Dominion may elude you. Until you know God one on one, you may not be in charge. You may pray all the prayers you need to pray, but certain things may not change. You may say all you need to say, but certain things may not change. But the day you know Him one on one, then that day you come to terms with who He is, and now you come to terms with who you are, what He has made you to be, and that day, exercising dominion becomes an unconscious thing. Faith becomes an unconscious thing. Please, I will stop here for today. But before you go, subscribe, share, like the video. Let's draw people to the channel and let the gospel go out there. I remain Reverend Dr. Tommy Joseph. I declare, go and know God so that you will be in dominion. I will see you in the next video.